Hello, in this video I'm gonna show you how to set up your camera for taking the best photos on Samsung Galaxy S25. So to do it you need to go to the camera app and I'm gonna explain a few features. So the first one is the megapixels. So if you really want a high resolution photo you can set it to 50 megapixels, then it'll have the better quality, although it has also a bigger file size. So if you don't really need it at the moment, then I would suggest setting it back to 12 megapixels. Then another great tip on taking photos: if you are planning on zooming in the photo, then you must notice that on your phone there are 3 lenses, and as I zoom in, maybe that will be visible enough. As I zoom in, at some point on 3 times it changes the lens slightly to a different lens on here. So instead of taking a photo that's, for example, 2.7 times in, then switch it to the 3 times and it'll just look better, because there is the second lens which will do that natively with the optical zoom, not the digital zoom. So I would suggest taking it on either 0.6 times, 1 times. Also 2 times is great too, because it stays on the standard lens still, but uses higher quality in order to take the 2 times photo, or 3 times. But the other zooms I don't really recommend, because they just crop your picture, which you can do later in the editing. So this is my tip. Then another thing is clicking here, and you can find things like exposure, so you can turn the exposure down to make it darker or lighter depending on your needs. Then you can also tap on the photo to focus something, so when something is out of focus you can tap on it. You can also change the exposure here, and if you need to lock the focus, then you can, let me show you that, you can press and hold, then it'll lock the focus, and as you zoom out it will not refocus. So sometimes it is really important, if you need to lock the focus for something. Then the next thing is here are filters. You can set different filters for your photos to make them look better. Then here are another adjustments, like the portrait photo. So if you are taking a photo of someone, then I suggest having the portrait mode on, because it'll make the photo look much better. If it's a portrait, you can click here to change it to blur, studio, high kimono, low kimono, backdrop, or color point. So these will change the way the photo looks. You can mess around with it. Then I'm gonna click here, and here you have the settings. Like when you go to settings, you can set something like I believe it was in advanced picture options. Then when you set the pro mode picture format to raw format, then after you go to more and pro, then when you take the photos in the pro format, it will make them in raw. So it will just make the photos contain more information. So if you want to edit the photo later, it will be easier to edit it and make more out of it. And here you can, in the pro mode, you can just learn to mess around with it. So it just you just can learn to make the photo manual, so you can change the ISO and the speed. I suggest keeping the ISO as lowest as you need and the speed as highest as you need, although if the speed is set to 30 seconds, then it'll take 30 seconds to take a photo, and you need to hold still. So you most probably won't set it to 30 seconds, but if you need to are if some things on the picture are moving or your hand is moving, then you should lower the speed and increase the ISO. But if the photo, you know that the photo will be steady enough, then you can decrease the speed, work with it. You can change the focus things, the white balance, which is also pretty important. So here they are. Here you can change the lenses to ultra wide, wide, or telephoto, because there are 3 lenses. And here, what do we have else is that we can go to the format, and you can choose which format to take a picture in. If you're taking a picture for Instagram, you maybe want to set it to 1:1, so you don't have to crop it later and some things won't be cut off. Then if you are taking it for a Instagram story, then you may want to set it in 9:16, or full if you want to have a full screen photo, or 3:4, which will just fit the most on the photo actually, because you can see that the 9:6 sort of zooms in and the 3:4 fits the most items on the photo. So it's just, these are up to you. And I think these are the most important tips on taking better photos on your phone. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.